Hidden in North Michigan is a clearing in the woods. This field I'm walking through you wouldn't know used to be a thriving, bustling village.
There are 22 ghost towns. Pere Cheney is one of them.
If you're thinking of a haunted cemetery in Michigan, this is exactly what you would picture. It's dark, it's secluded.
Did you just hear that?
Once that sun goes down, it just becomes a different place.
Listen.
This is the story of Pere Cheney,
Oh my god!
Plague in the Pines.
What is happening right now?
Okay, so we just finished watching a film called Pere Cheney, Plague in the Pines. Not a short film. This is a film.
Feature-length film.
Feature-length film. First ever feature-length film. Film. And this is not a dream. This is real life shit. We just finished putting together our first ever feature-length film in collaboration and association with Non-Sasquatch Production and What Goes Bump in the Night podcast, also working very closely with the Crawford County Historical Society. We are talking, of course, as the name suggests, about Pere Cheney, very well-known haunted Michigan. So I'd say, actually, Bree, it's the most famous, urban legend in Michigan. Would you agree? I mean, you're kind of biased because you live right
I'm biased because I've known about it my whole life, but I feel like most of the rankings or things that you see online about most haunted places in Michigan, Pere Cheney is always on the list. And any paranormal investigator in Michigan knows about Pere Cheney, has been to Pere Cheney, or wants to go to Pere Cheney, because that is the ghost town of Michigan.
It's so...
Of northern lower Michigan, but...
Yeah, I mean, even in, the UP, it's, so classic ghost story. Everything falls into place, just perfectly to create the perfect ghost story. Welcome to our podcast, where we take deep dives...
looking at various topics through a paranormal lens.
Pere Cheney had 1,500 people in it. It was, for the local county seat. At one point.
Bustling boom town.
Yeah, because the railway came through.
Mm-hmm.
That's a significant part of the whole story. And they had hotels, restaurants. It was a thriving village until diphtheria came through. Twice. And wiped out much of the town. And back then, they didn't know really what to do, so they just stopped the trains from coming in. And everyone was just kind of, if you got diphtheria... Sucks to suck, man.
Yeah.
No one's coming in to help you. You're not leaving. You're staying there.
You're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So
They were
die.
They were fully cut off from everywhere else.
It was a death sentence, and unfortunately, that led to a decline in the town. I mean, there's all these rumors now about it, a witch that cursed the town and caused diphtheria. So even in the time, the fact that this tragedy struck to such a scale twice, and the town that was set to be thriving and booming went from 1,500 people to, I think it was, at the time, when the town eventually got burned down. They say that, some local people from a couple towns over came and burned the city down just because they thought it was cursed. At that time, there was only 18 people living there.
Yeah.
So it went from 1,500 to 18. And through that fire, everything got destroyed. All the buildings, all the records, all the documentations, all the photos, nothing exists. This is the most ghost town of ghost towns. Because usually with other ghost towns...
There's at least historical records, and
yeah,
you can actually look back at the history. Usually it's not just fully burned down. There's still some records somewhere.
And for a while, I mean, even today, all that remains is a cemetery. So there's this abandoned cemetery in the middle of the woods. I mean, if you go deep in the woods, there are still foundations. Yeah, you can see where buildings used to be if you know what you're looking for. And of course, a railroad track, which played a big part in the town's history, is still there and is still active.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this cemetery And that's all that remains of this ghost town, literally. For a while, get this, they don't even know who's buried in that cemetery, because for a while, after all the records burned down of, people buried, people that live there, they're like, well, at least we have the headstones
Mm-hmm.
that tell us who's buried there.
For
Well,
long.
not for long, yeah.
Yeah.
Because all those headstones eventually got vandalized, broke, stolen. Now there's only like 5 or 6 headstones you can actually fully make out.
Yeah.
So there's only 5 or 6 actual names that remain of the entire town.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Pere Cheney was one of those spots that the local high school kids would go to party and drink and have bonfires, and they would vandalize the cemetery. They'd steal headstones, they'd break headstones. Like, who's out there to stop them? It's literally in the middle of nowhere.
Do you think there's someone out there who just has a random headstone in their
Oh, definitely.
house from pure
Yeah. Either that or it's like hidden under their porch or something, because they're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have this.
I've done this, and
But-
now I don't know what to do
Yeah.
with it.
Like someone local?
Yeah, definitely.
Have you ever like been to someone's house and they're just like, look at this headstone I stole? Is that
No.
normal?
No.
Is that like a Grayling thing?
Don't
No.
think that's illegal anyway, so people
yeah,
don't
it's not-
want them
yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, and most of that happened before my era of being in high school. So
What about your era though? Because you are local, to reiterate. Were you ever invited to any Pere Cheney parties?
I wasn't invited to any parties. I wasn't that cool.
I don't think any of us in this who's sitting here right now was ever invited to any parties.
Yeah, no. But my sister, she also went to high school in Grayling, and her friends used to party out there.
Mm.
And one of the stories that she always told me was, and I knew this person too, he was out there one night just chilling with his buddies, having a bonfire. I don't think it was at the cemetery, it was at the clearing that we camped at.
Yeah, so if you go past the cemetery, there's like a clearing in the woods that used to be like a town hub.
Yeah, it used to be where the town was.
There's like a bonfire there. Like
Yeah.
people obviously go out and
But they were having a bonfire, and all of a sudden they had a little kid run up on them. And at the time they're just like, that's super weird. Like, oh my God, are you okay, little kid? Like, you're in the middle of the woods in the middle of the night. And then they were looking at him and they're like, you're wearing period piece clothes. And they're like, oh my God, like, are you okay? Like, still processing this interaction.
Because who would think is a ghost?
Exactly.
Wait, so was the kid having like a full-on conversation with them?
No. So they're like, oh, are you okay? Like, do you need help? Like, trying to see what's up with this little kid. And then, poof, gone. He just
Okay.
vanished.
So no talking from him.
No. Like, he ran up on them.
I never heard this.
I didn't hear that.
I have told you guys about this multiple times.
Okay, this is like the whole situation about like
You guys telling me things and I don't remember.
Yeah, we were just talking. There's like certain stories we tell Bree, and then every time we tell her, like she acts surprised, like, you never told me this. This must be the equivalent for us, because we filmed a whole feature-length film out there.
Mhm.
Oops. Hold on. It's not supposed to do that. Now I have to line up all this shit, extra editing. I hate this. This isn't supposed to be an edited podcast.
What?
Alright, welcome back from that shit. I'm recording to the cloud. But somehow, my computer said, nope, you cannot record to the desktop. And I'm like, I'm not recording to the desktop. I don't know what you're talking about. And I still had to stop the recording, save the file, restart recording. Let's hope nothing happens again. This isn't the first weird technical issue to happen with Pere Cheney. The whole hard drive issue that happened a couple months ago now. There was one casualty, and it just so happened to be some footage from Pere Cheney. And I didn't realize that until late in the editing. I was like,
totally forgot about that.
yeah, we were Tara, we were kind of like split up, and Tara, who's like a witch from Canada that came down to film with us. She was doing a little ritual, and she was in the woods doing that while we were in the cemetery and other parts of the woods, like kind of separated.
Mm-hmm.
And when she was doing her stuff, we had a lot of stuff happening EVP wise. We were catching EVPs. At the same moment she heard voices interrupting her ritual, we heard voices on the other side of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like really cool, things lining up, but all of our footage is gone. Doesn't affect the film or the narrative at all. You know, you still get out of it that she's out there doing her thing and she's sharing her interpretations of the events and she's hearing voices. Doesn't necessarily add or detract from the fact that we heard voices as well, but still we don't have that footage.
Yeah.
Another thing is, and this is funny, we were editing. I was lead editor, but also Tommy Tombstone from a Non-Sasquatch production. He was the director of the film. So when we got time, we were actually like making directorial, story narrative cuts for the film. Obviously he's directing, so he's kind of leading what I'm editing. So throughout the process, I would be kind of over Zoom or StreamYard, just kind of live streaming with each other. So we're kind of remotely, virtually editing together on much of the project. Been doing it for months now, no problems. As soon as the film is done and we go through to do a final pass of the film before exporting, he is like, hold on, something's happening, and then he gets booted from the stream. And he says, this has never happened before. My internet is out for some reason. And he couldn't access the internet on his computer. And he had no idea how to fix it. Finally, he fixed it. Hasn't had any problems before or since. Then last night, we tried watching the film all together for the first time. And literally...
Same thing happens.
Literally, with 1 minute left, the last minute of the film, the internet just went out. And I was like, deja vu? But then, we were just chit-chatting.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 minutes later, the internet is back. I didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
You usually have to like reset, the modem or whatever.
This is such like a typical pattern.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah. With specifically Pere Cheney.
Yeah.
So.
Because we've had in the past, like before, because you're from the area.
Mm-hmm.
We've investigated, the two of us, before, we started any of this, the film. I mean, the film is a couple years in the making, because we were kicking around the idea to do it for like 3 years, and every time we would plan to go up and film something, there would be some like, I don't know, like flash flooding warning or like some crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
One of the times too, it said like, it's going to be a terrible, you know how in like April, sometimes we get like blizzards, like it's like, okay, fake spring 1, okay, fake spring 2, okay, get a blizzard. One time it said like there was going to be a blizzard, and we're like, we can't film.
Yeah.
Some people were driving, several hours, like I said. Canceled the shoot, never ended up snowing at all.
Yeah.
So it was just like weird shit that even like up until trying to get out of there. But we've investigated in the past, and we've had like voice recorders stop working and stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Voice recorders, cameras, definitely.
A bunch of camera issues.
Yeah.
My God.
Always camera issues. Like I don't think I know of a different place that we've had that many camera issues before. Like on occasion we'll have camera issues, but not as often as Pere Cheney. Like you are guaranteed to have a camera malfunction.
Yeah, like
at Pere Cheney.
My phone malfunctioned when I was trying to take photos. Like all my photos disappeared randomly, and then half of them popped back up. Only some of them, not all of them.
And another time, I think it will be fun because so the film is an hour and 20 something minutes. It's like a feature film.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, it could have been a 4 or 5 hour film
with all the stuff.
That
There's
happened.
so much stuff that was not included.
Exactly. So let's start. Usually, when we do these like recaps of like a new project that's out, it's all just like, so here's the place. Now go watch the film. We don't want to spoil anything. Let's spend the rest of this episode just talking about all the shit that didn't make the cut. And then everyone's going to be listening like, wait, that didn't make the cut?
Mm-hmm.
What did make the cut? Because in another instance, that was all on camera. Angela was, the photographer of the film. She was taking photos. Half her photos disappeared. And then afterwards, some of them reappeared. But still, she has missing files, malfunctions. Remember, we were filming back in the foundations? Where the old buildings were?
Yeah.
A light tipped over.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, actually.
Yeah. And then one turned back on. And then my lens on my camera, which you have to hold down a button, twist, and pull off. The lens fell off, and I had to catch it.
You're so pissed from that.
Yeah.
That felt like...
So pissed.
I was mad. I was like, Ghost, you're not allowed to do that. You can't take an expensive lens off my camera and throw it at a concrete foundation. You're not... You have to press and twist.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
That whole experience in that foundation that we had that isn't in the film was just so charged.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there were so many things that happened. And it, like, thinking about it, it really wasn't a lot. But just, it felt so energetic. Like, there were, because we had the light tip over, and then we had the camera lens fall off. And I think we had some creepy voices that were coming through the spirit box, too, that didn't want us there. But, yeah, it's just a weird...
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's like...
circumstance.
If you're making a film, this is a film. It's an aesthetic film, too. The whole thing is black and white except for the fire, which...
Anything that's like
was a good
fire
choice.
is orange.
So we're, like, editing, and we've been editing for a while, and we have a deadline at this point, because we're so close to having it finished, that now we're in talks with, like, distribution and stuff, which is, by the time you're hearing this, it's streaming currently on Paraflix. So we were already in talks with Paraflix, already, like, we have a date set. And we're just, like, doing, like, fine-tuning stuff, like, just, like, fixing, like, the audio levels and stuff. And then Tommy's like, what if we just swap in a black and white and then make the fire just, like, the only thing in color? Is that doable? And I'm like, you mean by tomorrow? Then he's like, yeah, I don't know, can you do that? And
You're
I'm
like editing to like 2 a.m. to get it done.
So I'm like, yeah, I can do that. So that was like an aesthetic decision in the last minute. But anyways, this is like an aesthetic film. So if you are thinking about us out there, the light, our only light source, is on the ground and won't turn on. So it's like dark as
Pitch
can be.
black.
You can't film that in general easily. And then the lens is off the camera.
Yep.
You can't film at all.
Mm-mm.
There's nothing to film.
Yeah.
So that's hard to put in a film, especially if it's just like you're trying to build a narrative. Like, where does that even fit in? Which is just so crazy because it's like, I don't know. I feel like we're the same way. It's like if we're making a project like this, we're prioritizing the things that benefit the story.
Yes.
So if we get 5 EVPs and one has to do like really like fits right in with like the puzzle pieces, fits in with the interviews, it helps propel the story forward.
Yes.
And the other EVPs are like, because we got a crystal clear EVP too that's not in the film.
Got a lot.
Yeah,
actually.
a lot, but one in particular, so clear, says, I don't like you. What that doesn't, if
What
I'm,
did we do?
if it's between that and like something that's, because if you have to pick and choose, that doesn't contribute to the story at all.
Yeah.
So
Not that we're saying that stuff isn't important and like
right.
great to catch, but for reasons for filming and creating a production, there's just some things that don't make the cut.
And I'm sorry, but every time, because I'm coming at it from a film perspective, every time the quote unquote evidence is always going to be the first to go if I have to make cuts. Because it really, at the end of the day, think back to any episode of any ghost show you've watched, right? Do you remember how many EVPs episode 107 of Ghost Adventures caught. If I told you they caught 4 EVPs, would that impress you any less than if I told you they caught 5 EVPs?
Yeah. No.
But if I told you that was, I'm just making sure, if I told you that was like Alcatraz, would you be like, oh yeah, Alcatraz, I know that place, you know, like,
Yeah.
and you know the story behind, you know, the location, the story always is gonna.
And that's the important thing with this documentary is it isn't like the doing the ghost hunting and the investigation is just a bonus to what we were trying to do, which was trying to do that deep dive into Pere Cheney that hasn't been done before, to fit together those puzzle pieces and find those, like, the history that hasn't really been talked about. Because like we said in the film, like, there isn't a lot of information out there. So that was the goal of the film, was to get this information out.
And the ghost hunting part
The ghost
kind of like
was a bonus.
yeah, it like
Bonus.
complements
Yes.
Well, and another thing
what we
too,
were doing.
like I said, the main legend, if you go online, is just the witch.
What?
What
You
the
gotta
fuck?
What
be
the hell?
fucking kidding me.
As soon as I say the witch,
The witch.
okay, let us
Take
try
three.
the take 3, third time's the charm. Also, it's funny because the film itself, I had to submit to Paraflix 3 different times,
Mm-hmm.
because there's weird export glitches and errors, and like I would fix one thing, like we watched it 5 million times, and I exported it. I'm like, okay, it's final, and I'm like, that shot, literally the first shot, it's not supposed to lag like that. What the heck? So I re-exported it after already submitting it, and then there was a weird audio glitch that was just obnoxious. I'm like, where did that come from? And I'm like, all right, Paraflex, 3rd time's the charm. So maybe we'll continue that trend here, but
Do you think people who are gonna watch it is gonna have any issues?
Hope
I
not.
hope not.
That'd be so interesting.
But yeah, the same issue happened again, where what happened was the first time, which we've done in-person recordings all the time, and I record on this computer all the time for various stuff, freelance stuff, all.
Yeah, he knows what he's
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
I recorded to the cloud, so there wouldn't be any issues. Then it said your computer, like your desktop, you can't record to the desktop. I'm like, I'm not. And then I tried again because I was like, okay, I'll put in an external drive, record to the drive, just so there's no issues. And then it said, yeah, you can't record to the drive. I'm like, what? So I can't record at all? So like my computer won't let me record. So now I'm in Zoom doing a Zoom meeting with myself, just to record via a different
Different
like
type of
route to kind of
Mhm.
cheat the system. Of course, right when I mentioned the witch,
Yeah.
which my whole point was that in the film,
Mm-hmm.
I made it was a fun challenge for me. I had fun. I was like, how long can I go without mentioning the witch at all?
Oh yeah.
And it took
Yeah.
20 minutes. I was like, I can't go longer than 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's such a good
But that's-
idea to do, though.
Because that's not the
Yeah,
whole
it's-
story. It's not even like
That's like a legend. Like,
Yeah.
it's not even fact.
it's folklore. Like
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's not
That's not
proven to be real. Like
what
the
it is. Yeah, it's not important to like the town. Really.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's an
it's a
interesting
streetlight.
side note,
yeah.
but nothing about it can be proven.
And then the whole thing, too, there's allegedly a witch's tree where the witch was allegedly hanged
And you
from.
will see that everywhere. When you like look up this town online, the tree will come up.
But there's different reports of what the tree is. Currently, there's a stump that used to be a tree that people leave offerings. A lot of people will tell you that that used to be the
The
tree, the hanging tree.
Mhm.
Then there's also reports that there was a headstone that the witch was actually buried there. And then the local sheriff in town stole the skull from this grave. And I didn't put that in because I didn't want, the sheriff that's still alive to arrest us for
Yeah.
incriminating him.
Well,
So that's not in there.
I don't think it was the current sheriff, but
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah, I think it was.
To be
previous.
clear, that's speculation.
Yeah,
That's speculation.
None of
facts.
this is
Facts.
factual.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's always crazy legend. And then you heard from, as a local person, and we also talked to other locals, remember when we investigated many years ago, this like local EMT came out with us too. Everyone has a different idea of which tree.
was the hanging tree, because they told, I remember it as being one of the oak trees that's all the way in the back. And then there's some people who think it's that big one that's right there in the center. And it's like,
What is it? Or
And then-
is it the stump?
Yeah, and a lot of people say the historical societies told us it was that stump with people leave offerings at the front.
yeah.
So we didn't even mention the hanging tree or the stump or any of that in the film, just because it's like that's clear pattern of folklore where you have one seed of a story and different versions of it.
Yeah.
But right when we arrived at the stump, we did investigate this stump because you have to. People
Of
leave
course, you
offers.
have to.
Right when we showed up to the stump to start recording.
Because we've been in the cemetery the whole time already, but we haven't looked at the stump. So we came up to the stump to get some footage, start do a session or whatever. It starts raining.
Yeah. And this is
Full downpour.
But it's weird though, because it didn't have rain clouds in the sky. It was this
It was sunny.
It was. But when it started raining, it was this one little cloud right above us that was what was downpouring on us. But it was still sunny. Everything around us was the sunshine was still showing and stuff.
Yeah. So
It was
we
really weird.
yeah, because we're oh my god, it's downpouring. Let's go sit in the cars for a second. By the time we got to the cars, it was done raining.
Yeah.
It was as soon as we got to the stump, it started raining.
Yeah.
Walked away.
We walked back to the stump, and it wasn't a downpour, but it was sprinkling just a little bit.
Yeah. It happened twice. It was what? So we just it
We
was
just
weird.
didn't really do it.
We didn't get anything
Yeah.
investigating there, but it was still a very odd coincidence, but it was just coincidental.
Very.
Was it
Just like when I
something
said-
else?
I said witch, and then the computer died.
Mhm.
Should we try it? Witch!
Oh my god.
Say it with
No.
1, 2, 3, witch. 1, 2, 3,
What?
witch! You have to do it. Kill my computer with the power of the witch.
Are we accusing the computer of being
Witch!
Witchcraft.
Oh my god, it did it again. No, I'm kidding. I don't think.
your computer to death for witchcraft.
No, don't do that.
No. I think we just ruled out that the witch is in my computer. It's a plague in the pines, not a plague in the
Plague and a ghost in the machine.
Would that be the virus?
Oh, this is a modern day diphtheria. We did have 2 rounds of it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. What else happened? So we split up
Yeah,
a couple times.
couple times.
That was kind of, we realized that there's so much ground to cover, and everyone that goes out there only focuses on the cemetery, and that's a mistake.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that's left. People don't really know about the foundations or anything.
Yeah, they're hard to find. You don't really know about them unless you know somebody who knows somebody, or you know a local, which even I as a local didn't know where the old foundations or the town used to be.
Well, something I found most shocking in the film, when we were talking with the Historical Society, what you can see as the cemetery now, which Riley Clark, he got some incredible drone video, and you can see from aerial view, there's clearly,
How big? It's
a
a big
clearing.
cemetery.
it was 4 times bigger.
Yeah.
There's 4 times as many graves that are even visible
It's
in the
going
woods.
Into the woods, the full-grown woods. That's part of the cemetery.
And there's a mass grave out there. There's a mass grave somewhere in the
there.
woods.
Yeah.
But nobody knows where. So, but what was your guys' favorite experience that didn't make it
Ooh.
into the film?
I got it.
What is it?
The monster on the railroad track.
Yeah. There's a creepy moment that happened that made it in the film.
This was coming back from the cemetery.
Yes.
That was in the film.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't with them at this
We had
point.
split up.
This was when
You
we
were-
split up. I was with,
You were in the clearing,
yeah, I was in the clearing
With-
at the bonfire.
and then Yeah, they're at the bonfire where apparently a little kid ran up on your sister's friend.
Oh yeah, that
which I didn't know until now. And we were in the cemetery and we were coming back, so we were crossing the railroad tracks to meet back up with them.
Uh-huh.
And Trevor from What Goes Bump in the Night saw at the end of the railroad tracks what he described as like, and again, I'm totally butchering and this is his story, but he saw like a giant shadow mass. He described it as like,
Because it was underneath one of the lights from
yeah, there's like street lights.
street or something.
Yeah.
Far down.
And it was giant. He was like, it looked like a monster, just like a giant thing. And he was like really shaken up, but it was too far to be able to
really
get
it
on camera. You couldn't see.
But you could see it with your eyes.
You saw it too?
I did see something go across the railroad track, but
What did
not
you
down
see?
to the extent that you saw.
So there's something, I didn't know you saw something because I was focused because I was doing like double duty. I was doing thermal and all this
Yeah.
stuff. So I missed it.
Because I didn't have anything in my hand, so I was just like looking down there like he was. I wasn't filming or anything.
But you saw it. You definitely acknowledged there was something at the end of the railroad
Oh,
tracks.
100%. It really scared me too.
Was it bigger than like if a person was just down there?
Oh, 100%. I don't know.
interesting.
I don't know what it was, but it was weird. He definitely saw something, because I kind of saw something too. I don't think I saw it to the extent he saw it, but
Because he was staring at it. You must have saw it right when it like moved away or something.
something like that, yeah.
Were there any other moments? I mean, we were talking about like a giant monster or something on the end of the railroad tracks potentially. Were there any moments that surprised you in the moment, but then when it came to actually putting the film together, you're like, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, that didn't really make the cut. Like, I can kind of see why. Because so much happened. Like I was saying, we got so much EVPs, so many like small experiences that in the moment we were just like engaged. We did like multiple investigations. We were engaged the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, we should probably talk about we mentioned this on the podcast. We had a series of EVPs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the film we have a really clear EVP saying it witness when we were asking about the fires, and we said, "Did you witness the fire?" And then this really clear voice says,
It was like a
Witness.
little girl or something.
And after that, we had a whole series of responses that were like responding to our questions. And the most memorable one to me was like, oh, do you like playing any games? And it had said Ring Around the Rosie.
Yes.
And of course, we didn't hear it at the time. So we're like, oh, do you like playing tag? And then right after that, just a little girl's voice said, tag. And then we never heard anything again. Like, that was the most memorable and awesome EVP.
it was like it said
It was-
tag and then ran away.
Waiting for us to catch her or something.
Yeah.
And
But you were saying that when you guys went in to like look at this or listen to these EVPs to like potentially put them in the film, they didn't come across like
No,
that.
they were
It did
not
not
there.
sound like it.
No.
But in the moment when we were there in the cemetery, listened to the recordings, we listened to them multiple times, and there was how many of us there who heard this voice? Like,
all of us heard it.
it was so clear, and for it to just not sound clear at all makes no sense to me.
No, and we talked about it on this podcast.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like in the moment we were like, this is like
That's like peak evidence.
we can end the film on this. This
Like-
is like we're talking to someone. They're giving us real indication on who they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this ties in with so much of the story and where it's building and bubbling up to at this point. This could be like the finale. We could end on this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go back and you're like, we got 10 EVPs. You can only hear the first one, but you can hear the first one so
yeah,
clear.
you can hear the first one.
That's just mind blowing, and that was like a moment where it's like
They were gonna end with it. That's how clear
Yeah.
and like profound it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that you couldn't even like add it, it's
Yeah.
just like
we don't like spoiling things, and we even spoiled that on this. But we were like, we have to talk about this.
Because it was so cool. Like, I have never had that, because it was like back-to-back responses to our questions.
Mm-hmm.
and then it's just you can't hear them.
Do you think it's because we talked about it on the podcast, like we jinxed it?
Probably.
Jinx yummy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you want to understand why we're laughing at you should watch the film. We're not gonna spoil anything. What we're talking about all episode is the stuff that didn't make the cut.
So this is not spoilers.
So none of what we're talking about is a spoiler. But if you want some peak Shining Sisters bullshit that these two do, they it's gonna haunt your nightmares after watching Pere Cheney Plague in the Pines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be super interesting, like, once this premieres, and potentially, like, releases in Grayling at the Rialto, to see what the local population has to say about it, what their comments on it. Like, I'm sure they're gonna probably be like, oh, I want to share my story. So it'd be really cool to be able to, like, have a way to, like, have people submit their experiences and, like, potentially do, like, a follow-up later
Who knows?
interviews or
Maybe
Well, we
someone
were
will
talking-
return a headstone.
Yeah. No, we were talking like it's an hour 22 or something, hour
Mm.
23. We can easily, in 6 months from now, do a couple interviews
Mhm.
at a, in-town premiere.
Yeah.
Have some of this unseen footage that we'll probably be posting on social media, but incorporate some of that. Easily get up to an hour 30 for an extended cut, just to kind of keep the momentum going
Yeah.
down the road. Might even get up to 2 hours.
Yeah.
Who
Who
knows?
knows?
We might have
We
outtakes
definitely
from
have
the
enough
outtakes.
stuff. Yeah. So.
And then also, Pere Cheney is one of 22 ghost towns.
Yes.
In
That general
Crawford
area.
County.
Yeah.
So we have 21 sequels to make too.
I feel like a lot of them are not as well preserved as, well, I mean, Pere Cheney really isn't preserved either.
No,
all that
not at
remains
all,
is the
actually.
cemetery. I mean, the only other one that I have kind of been to is Duard, and all that's left of that is like the old stone pillars of a sawmill
Mm.
That you know of.
that I know of, but
I mean, that's the thing with Pere Cheney. I mean, we'll just end on this. Like, the biggest find was not paranormal. Anyone that thinks that nothing remains of Pere Cheney Ghost Town is actually incorrect.
There's lots of bodies that remain.
but
And there's a place you can go that's original to the Pere Cheney Ghost Town, and you can actually go inside. It's a structure.
but you gotta watch
You
the
gotta
film
watch.
to know more.
Because we went inside, and it's potentially just as, if not more, haunted, too, in the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
Similar connections, to that type of activity experience as well.
Yeah.
So if you're curious about a major historical discovery, and that's another thing, too, it's like, maybe when this gets out, we can get money to preserve it better, and
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Who knows?
make sure that it gets its proper due and people know this place exists and it gets preserved for history.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'm glad the witch let us finish this episode in peace. Took 3 times to export the movie, 3 times to record this podcast.
Now Ben has to do editing that he didn't want to do.
No, I usually don't edit this podcast. Let's just end on another 1, 2, 3 witch. Send people home with a little bit of mystery and intrigue, okay? 1, 2, 3, witch! Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Paranormal Lens. If you liked what you heard, every 5-star rating and positive review tells the algorithms we're a worthy podcast and pushes us out to more listeners. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll see you next Thursday for another paranormal deep dive.
Mm-hmm.